Warner Brothers has shut down its 3 major gaming studios, including the one that was working on the upcoming Wonder Woman game. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. The reason for such a big decision is the ripple effect of 2024's Suicide Squad's failure in the market. It incurred approximately $200 million in losses, and Warner Brothers was compelled to make serious changes if it were to avert such disasters in the future. Warner Brothers has been strategically shutting down its gaming unit, starting with Monolith Productions, the studio developing the Wonder Woman game. As of now, the game has been canned, and the studio is closed. Following the closure of Monolith Productions, it has also shut down Player First Games and WB San Diego. Things do not seem too bright at the moment for games from the DC universe, and definitely not for James Gunn, as he had a vision for both films and games. He had big plans for creating an interconnected DC universe across TV, films, and games. He wanted to expand on the stories with consistent characters and cast to offer a seamless experience across platforms. Unlike previous games from the DC universe, these titles were supposed to be more connected with the films and TV shows. However, due to the recent development in the gaming unit of Warner Brothers, his plans are currently sinking. Warner Brothers explained its stance on why these drastic measures were taken in the first place via an email to Kotaku. It read, "Warner Brothers seems to be moving in a different direction. A direction away from gaming, especially after some of its recently released games failed to generate an audience. We have had to make some very difficult decisions to structure our development studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. After careful consideration, we are closing 3 of our development studios, Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers Games San Diego. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consists within them. It is being called a strategic decision that does not reflect badly on the credibility of the studios being closed in any way. The future for games from the DC universe looks dim at the moment. The studio's gaming unit is currently in shambles. There is no direction, no plan, and no clarity as to what will happen in the future. This aimlessness could have had a huge role to play in the decision to shut this unit down for a bit, take a step back, and rethink. Suicide Squad's success was crucial for Warner Brothers Games since it would have given the studio a place to build from. However, its failure came as a major blow which did not help the developer's case in any way. Following Suicide Squad, even the other multiplayer games, including Harry Potter, Quidditch Champions, failed to do well in the market. The studio needs to re-evaluate all of its decisions and take the next few steps carefully. These recent developments might not align well with Gunn's plan of developing a DC game like Marvel Rivals. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. Robert Pattinson might never be part of the DCU, but James Gunn shouldn't let a talented actor like him go away after looking at his fears. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Fear is a powerful motivator, don't you think? Well, for Robert Pattinson, it's a driving force behind his career. His deepest fear isn't disappointing a director or not hitting the mark with a role. It's the fear of public humiliation. As someone who has earned his stripes in Hollywood, the Twilight star's concerns run deeper than merely facing a tough crowd. He's terrified of being labeled lame, no matter how hard he's worked or how good his intentions were. This vulnerability is what has made Pattinson such a beast in his job. He's not just an actor, he's a perfectionist, always striving for excellence in every project he takes on. And now, as the DC universe continues to grow and evolve under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, Pattinson's The Batman legacy must be fiercely protected, and it's clear why. When Robert Pattinson speaks about his deep, deep fear of humiliation, it hits differently. It's not the kind of fear we all feel when we're on stage at an open mic or when we have to present a big project in front of the board. His fear runs through every scene, every performance, every film he touches. He understands that when a movie flops or a role doesn't land, the fingers pointing at him aren't going to be kind. No one's going to care about the reasons, he admitted, via Clutchpoint. Continuing, he stated, "You're the one who everyone's going to say is lame. And the vast majority of people will say you're lame even when you tried your best. We think we've all been there. When the stakes are high, and you're under the microscope, the weight of judgment feels crushing. Pattinson's way of dealing with it is simple. He gives it everything. There's no room for half-baked performances in his world. And thus, it's no wonder James Gunn and Peter Safran must be so invested in keeping him in the Batman universe. Pattinson is an asset, a passionate actor who risks it all to avoid that lame label. James Gunn is no stranger to juggling creative visions, but when it comes to Batman, he's got his hands tied. In a recent DC Studios presentation, Gunn and Peter Safran confirmed that Robert Pattinson will remain only in Matt Reeves' The Batman universe. No crossover into the broader DCU for now, via IGN. They love Pattinson, they're all about his performance in The Batman, but introducing another Batman into the DCU is imperative. Gunn made it clear. It's certainly not the plan. It's certainly not the plan. No. This decision speaks volumes about the unique position Pattinson finds himself in. While his version of the Dark Knight won't be part of the upcoming The Brave and the Bold, there's no denying the value of what he brings to the table. It's not just about a cool Batmobile or a brooding vigilante in a cape. Pattinson's Batman resonates because of his raw, human portrayal of the character. And even though the larger DCU is moving on, the Batman 2, with Pattinson at the helm, is a gem they must not be willing to abandon anytime soon. Ergo, Robert Pattinson's approach to acting isn't just about taking roles, it's about taking ownership of his work. His fear of failing isn't something that holds him back, it propels him forward, and that's why James Gunn can't afford to let him slip away from the Batman mantle, even if the upcoming Superman movie could challenge Donald Trump's recent political policies as James Gunn maps out plans for the new DC. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn is busy preparing for the release of the highly anticipated Superman movie that will mark a new dawn for the DCU. Ahead of the film's release, Gunn and his DC Studios co-head Peter Safran recently conducted a press meet where the two shared updated plans for the franchise and details about new projects. During the press meeting, Gunn was also asked about his take on Superman in the context of the political landscape in America with Donald Trump returning to the presidency. In response, Gunn's hinted the character was the perfect antidote for a politically divided America. Here is what Gunn had to say about Superman and the future of the DCU. James Gunn is the current co-head of DC Studios, with the filmmaker recently conducting a press meet where he detailed the studio's upcoming plans. During the event, Gunn spoke with Variety about his next directorial venture Superman, which will be released in July, 6 months after Donald Trump's re-election. In his conversation with the press, Gunn was asked what Trump's return to power meant for Superman as a character, especially with Gunn attempting to bring a new and updated take on the iconic superhero. He's a character that stands for something that is solid, for basic human morals, basic human integrity, the basic belief in protecting others, the weak, and being good to people and being honest. He stands for what I think of as the rules that don't change. Gunn made the above statement, explaining that he did not think Superman was a part of the current cultural movement in America. The filmmaker elaborated that the character's ideas and morals were universal in nature and not restricted to political discourse at a certain point in time. Therefore, Gunn's